You're now listening to So You Were Saying
with Dora and Lex.
Tune in every Friday for the latest episode.
Hey, guys.
Hello. Welcome back to another episode of So You Were Saying with your host,
Dora.
and Lex.
Yes, we got it right.
Oh my God, yes, we did.
We got it right.
Check us out. Check us out.
Third time is a charm.
Facts, because that was not planned or practiced prior to.
No, but we should have known it by season 2.
I don't even know why I didn't get it right the first 2 episodes.
I don't know. But my head hurts, y'all.
Y'all, first of all, she has been stressing my life today, but we here. We
First
made
of
it.
all, I don't feel well, and I still showed up.
That's
Give
a
me
fact.
credit.
Insert round of applause.
It will not be inserted. I'm not putting that.
I'm dead. All right, guys, you're not here for the hot mess. You are here for the tea, and today's tea is
Your Image of Me Family Edition.
Family Edition.
Oh, and so we continue this journey on body image and the multi-layered conversation that this is. So far, if you kept up with season 2, we tackled the first one was, what was it? Oh,
Weight gain and
binge eating. The second one, which was split into 2 because that was such a conversation. So
Such
many
a
emotions.
conversation.
That was body dysmorphia, weight loss, and now we are here. Your Image of Me family.
So what does that mean?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so obviously body image, it's something very personal, but depending on who you are and how you were raised, sometimes it's not very personal. And I thought it was important to bring up this whole topic of family because just culture-wise, growing up in Latin households, it is fairly common for your family to find it to be okay to comment on your body, right? Whether it's during, and especially it being the holidays right now. Like, girl, this is a season to be like, okay, you felt like you were at 100. Okay,
You know what?
drop
It's
down
crazy.
to a 20.
I don't even think it's just a holiday. I think it's the holidays on top of like the whole after quarantine life.
Oh yes,
Right. So like
Mhm.
everybody hasn't seen each other in a while, depending on how you lived your life during the quarantine time, right? Because some people they were
Right.
just out here living their best life regardless. I'm one of them, so I'm not judging. I'm just saying
Mhm.
whatever. But then you have those people who are like they were really like not seeing their people and they were inside.
Right.
And like this is the year now,
That they're
where
coming
everybody's
out.
feeling normal and everybody's coming back together.
out.
I'm
Mm-mm.
coming with the world to know. Right? So like you're gonna have those like cousins, aunts, and uncles and et cetera, commenting this year
Mhm.
for sure.
Right. And I can't copyright on that one. I just realized I'm like, what are
Wait,
you doing?
Not our song.
Yes,
we did not write that.
Okay, those rights belong to somewhere else. Stop. Don't come after me. But yes, no, it's going to be that season. It is that season, right? So
Mhm.
we just went through Thanksgiving, and depending on who it is. But my main thing is
Thanksgiving,
just,
I feel like is bad too, though, because then you have people. I don't know. At least for not now in my life, but before in my life, I had gotten to a stage where if we were at like a Thanksgiving or something where it was like eating a lot,
Mhm.
people were like watching my plates. Why you counting my plates?
Mhm.
Mind your business.
Yes. Oh, yes, definitely.
Mind your business.
That's part of it. Yes. When it comes to family thinks that they have the right
To count your plates.
to tell you whether you've become more fluffier than you were last year. Whether you're looking a little wider from the back.
What you should and shouldn't be eating.
Right. Among so many other things.
So
Whether
you
you're
need that
married.
cup of soda? Did you need that?
Right. Whether you're married, whether you had children, are you planning on having children? You're getting older. You know that your chain ain't going to be here forever.
Oh my God.
It's just so many questions. But back.
Work life. They want to know it all. Okay.
Right. But the whole thing is it right for them? Do they actually have that right when it comes specifically when it comes down to body image?
If I didn't ask you, don't tell me nothing. That's my stance on that. If I didn't ask for your opinion,
Keep it to yourself.
keep it to yourself.
Right.
Mind your business on why I'm putting mac and cheese in my plate twice.
Even if it's the third plate, it ain't your plate. Don't worry about it.
No lie. My family did this. We did a Friendsgiving this year,
Mhm.
or a family edition Friendsgiving. And I swear I took the biggest piece of mac and cheese. And my cousin was like, yo, what are you doing? And I was like, mind your business about my cake and cheese.
But I mean, I don't know. I think through the years, once you become an adult, I don't necessarily want to say that it gets easier. I think for me, it's gotten easier because I've just learned to tune people out. But I definitely know that I was affected when I was younger. When I was younger and people would like see me or, and say something or think that they had the ability of saying something to me, whether it's, what plate I had or whether they thought that I dropped because it's always it's so funny because sometimes you get to a place where they no longer say anything, but as soon as you drop weight, you realize how big you were in their eyes in the first place because it's just like, oh, you drop a little bit of weight. It's like, girl, you looking so snatched.
Oh, God, snatched.
You look so good. Oh, my God, tú te casaste. ¿Sabes qué? And I'm like, wait, what were y'all saying before?
Right, like what y'all was whispering before, like behind my back.
Exactly. So now y'all just don't say anything because I put you in your place one too many times. But now you think, I was like, oh, okay, I see you. PT sitting there in the corner trying to be,
trying to mind my business.
Exactly.
Watching my body too hard.
Right. But what I'm saying is just a lot of these things, and especially in the Latin culture, and especially being a female in the Latin culture, it's just, I always felt like I just never understood until I got older that a lot of these things are because of projections of insecurities that those older women and those people have within themselves that they try to project onto you. And I can't look at her face.
I'm staying super quiet right now.
I'm just saying,
quiet. This is not my story.
I'm just saying because I never realized. I'm like, why are you so concerned? And so, and then, it's always, well, we just want the best for you. That's fine. But you also understand and you start hearing some of these stories that these individuals have said. And it's just like, oh, it's because you experienced this and you never healed this trauma. And now you think that this is the only way that it can be addressed because for you, it was always such a thing. But now you feel like you're older and you can't heal it. So now you want me to not live that life. But subconsciously, you're making me live that life because you are now the aggressor.
Mm-hmm.
Or unconsciously. There you go. I think the word is unconsciously. Yeah, unconsciously, you're the aggressor. And it took me a very, very long time to understand that. But I'm like, wow, my understanding, and I mentioned this during, I want to say my episode, binge eating, weight gain.
That was all Dora. Apparently, we had someone mention like, oh, that was Dora's episode. I'm like, yeah.
You'll hear episode 2, season 2 is all Lex. But it took me a while to sit there and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is just projections. And this goes back to even a different episode when we went into the episode of there's a right time to be a parent. And one of the things that I mentioned is I just don't feel that I'm in a state where I'm okay with everything within myself to be able to nurture a child. And this is one of the things that I was pinpointing to.
Right.
This whole projection that I grew up on and this whole insecurity that I've had for a large part of my life towards my body and my image of myself, because sometimes it's not even, sorry, y'all. I thought it was on Do Not Disturb and it did it again.
It was Dora. It wasn't me.
It's the computer. Sorry.
Mind you, she checked me before we even started. Your phone is on silent, right?
My phone's off right now. Okay, let's go back.
I'm just saying.
Let's just go back. But this is one of the things. Like I didn't, and again, it's still work in progress. It's definitely better than it has been prior to as far as my image and how I feel about myself and just the things that I'm aware of. But that was a main thing for me. I was like, how am I going to sit here and have a child and explain to this child what proper relationship or proper eating habits are when I haven't figured that out for myself? Because it's so intertwined with so many other feelings, sentiments, and it's just not positive and good. And that to me is just like, I'm going to, in essence, do my child a disservice because I'm just not ready to, like, I wasn't ready to live those truths to myself, let alone you can't hide nothing from these kids.
Well, I don't think that you're living, well, let me tread lightly. Hold on. I don't necessarily believe that you're fully living your truths or trying to live within your truths. I believe personally that you're living within someone else's truths of you, their views of you. Like the whole point of the episode is your image of me, and I feel like for you it resonates so what's the proper word here, so clearly, so heavily. So
Mhm.
I don't really know. But point is, like, it hits you hard because it's not your truth that you're trying to get over. It's someone else's.
Well, no,
It's
right.
other people's.
But
Like,
my point to that is I haven't deciphered completely what my truth is to myself, because so much of my life has been consumed by the image of someone else
mhm,
onto me, that it's just like, just recently coming into my 30s, excuse me, y'all, coming into my 30s, that's when I started really actually listening to who Dora is and was, and what being me actually means. Because for so long, in many, many facets, it was just a projection of me, a little cookie cutter mold that I was fitting into.
mhm. Going back to what you said about how people always have that phrase of, "Oh, we just want what's best for you."
Hmm.
I hate that phrase because your best, what you feel is best, does not make it my best.
Correct.
What you feel is best for you and, your life is not going to, it may not, for some people it will, but for most times it's not going to fit into my life.
Right.
Right? Like, my best is not your best, and I'm gonna do what's best, what I believe is best for me, because at the end of the day, I can't, I'm gonna
The
live and die for myself. Like,
Mhm.
parents, like, and it's so funny because I was thinking about this recently, and I feel like I saw it somewhere, maybe I heard it somewhere. So don't say this. It's not words coming straight from me, because I definitely feel I'm not taking
I
credit
heard
here for
it
everything.
somewhere.
But parents are simply a portal. Like, parents are literally just a portal for children, because we it's sad because a lot of people don't realize it, but you are not your child's, like, end all be all, if that makes, like,
Hmm.
you brought them on this earth not to mold them to who you want them to be, but to allow them to be who they want to be.
Hmm.
That's why it's always so funny to me when parents, like, really are strict with their children with certain things, because I'm just like, you're not allowing your child to find themselves. You're trying to mold them into who you want them to be and who you believe they should be, instead of letting them discover themselves, like, in
Right.
exploring and, figuring out who they are physically, mentally, emotionally, things like that. Like, you're here to guide them, not shape them.
And I think I know what you're referencing. I think the way that they phrased it was, your children didn't ask for you to be here. So therefore, if they don't meet every quota accolade that you see fit in their lives, you can't hold that against them. They are their own entity, type of thing.
Right, something along those
Something along
lines.
those lines.
Hmm.
And it's a complex, that's what I'm saying. Body image, right, is such a complex, at least the way that I've lived it, is such a complex topic, because it's not all you, it's not all them, it's not all us, it's not all we. It's just
It's like
so
many other
many.
things in life where it's multi-layered.
Right.
It's so multi-layered.
It's completely multi-layered.
Multi,
What
whatever.
it doesn't matter. That's
Tomato,
just,
tomato.
I wasn't correcting the way that
I'm
you said
just
it. I just
saying,
pronounced
I
it like
felt
envelope,
the
envelope.
shade.
Okay. But girl, again, and that's another okay, that's another thing. Perspectives. It depends who you are.
That's true.
So it's just like, it's okay. You might be offended by something. You don't know people's intent. So sometimes it is us just being offended by just being offended. It's not
Hmm.
necessarily that the person
Person
meant
was
it
being an offensive
right,
way. Yeah.
meant it in an offensive way. We just don't see intent. So that's why it's very important to be an active listener. Um
And an open minder. Like, you need to be open minded. An open minder, you know what I'm saying? You need to be
I
open
was like,
minded
an
to be.
open minder.
Yeah, I
Yes,
make things up as I go.
right. We need to be open minders. I actually like that one.
But
That should
no,
be a word.
seriously, it should. Yeah, there you go. See, she's on my side, you guys. But no, like, you need to have an open mind, because at the end of the day, people, not everyone is being malicious
Correct.
just because you feel attacked.
Mhm.
Like, it just because it came out of their mouth and your ears heard it a certain way doesn't mean that that's how it actually came out.
That's true.
It's so funny because, there's this show. I forgot what the name of the show is. I don't know, some weird show, but there was a episode on that show, and every episode is different.
Mhm.
But this specific episode was about like, people were able to record everything that they saw with their eyes,
Mhm.
and then they could play it back for everyone else to see from their minds. I don't know how it all worked out, but the point is, there was an episode where the wife was having an affair, and then it got played in front of everyone at like this dinner or something or another.
Oh,
right, hot mess. But my point to that was, point to that was, let me not get off topic too much. But my point to that was, if you can actually play back everything how it was said, like if you can see yourself hearing what they're saying, you will probably react differently about 80% of the time.
And that goes the same vice versa, because sometimes I will say people that have these comments that say, oh, you know, it would be, you look good and you're pretty, but you'd be pretty if you lost a couple of pounds. You need to watch yourself as you say what you say, because you're like, oh no. And I know I've gotten this many times. It says, I'm just looking out for the best for you because, you know, health wise and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, but you don't see your face of disgust as you're telling me this.
Family, man, I'm telling you, it's crazy.
You don't see your face as, and I'm going to say this again. You do not see your face of disgust as you're saying this to me.
I feel like it hits too worse because it's family.
Yes, it definitely does. But my main point is just people do that many times. Like, oh, I said what I said and it wasn't mean. I just told her, you know, whatever. But her reaction was this. Well, my reaction is defensive because not only are you telling me that I would be better if I was different, but while you're doing it, you're also giving me a face of disgust. So it's just like, okay, so me just standing in who I am, being the Dora that I am, is disgusting to you. And that's crazy offensive in my head.
Listen, you know, I told someone yesterday, I was like, you know, that phrase, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
That's a lie.
Bull crap.
That's a lie.
It's total BS. It's total BS.
Like, sometimes
words hurt. You could punch me. You can literally punch the flipping mess out of me, and that pain will probably be gone tomorrow. But what you said to me will forever live somewhere within me. You can't take it back. Your punch pain is going to go away eventually. Like it'll fade over time. Those words, they don't fade. Sometimes they actually
replay.
Not just replay, but they get louder in your head, at least. You know what I'm saying? Like they get louder metaphorically. People, metaphorically, be with me. Don't let me not lose you.
They create they definitely, and they can create forms of PTSD.
Yeah,
they can create forms of because again, it all depends. It's again, that's why they say like abuse. And again, let me just throw this out there. By no way, shape, or form am I saying that I was abused growing up by anyone in my family. No, that is not what I'm saying. I'm throwing it out there so nobody gets offended. Okay?
But words still hurt.
But what I am saying is that there have been times that certain family members have said things to me in relation to my weight that could have been articulated a different way, and I would have had a different reaction. And because those individuals are who they are, which I'm not going to point out, it hit different. And those words did stick with me and have stuck with me for many years. And even through therapy and even through, you know, coming into my own womanhood and coming into me being who I am and recognizing how much of a powerhouse I am by me just being who I am. Because I kill it every day.
Period.
Oh, God. I will tell you that sometimes those things do stick in your head to the point where they come back. And somebody else from outside may say something and then all of a sudden, boom. Triggered. And I'm going to tell you, pinpoint one thing. I grew up my entire life hearing men are visual creatures. If you don't look a certain way, then they're going to look at your way for a little bit. Your personality is going to be able to captivate them for a little bit. But guess what? The next most beautiful girl that is fit and thin will capture their attention because you're the fat one.
But here we are in a society now that they love thick women. I'm just saying.
Again, but still,
that's neither here nor there.
Let's just jump back into, obviously, we know Miss Dora is in the dating pool. I definitely am. And this man, not too far long ago, mentioned to me, oh, well, you know, I broke up because men are visual creatures. And as soon as he said that, boom, there goes that statement. And I was like, not going on that date with you, sir. not going on that date with you, sir. He might have been a cool individual. It might have even worked out. But guess what?
You were
All of
so
a sudden,
triggered.
right? I was so triggered. I was like, whoa, wait, what? Oh God,
You
no.
sound too familiar for me.
Exactly.
I can't do
It's
it.
just like, no, you're gonna see me, and I was like, I'm gonna see the same disgusting face, and I don't want to see that disgusting. No, you sure you swiped right on the right person?
Did you see my profile?
Did you see my
real?
profile picture? I am very upfront about being a plus size, lovely woman. I was like, I said it, I showed it, I tell it.
Next.
That's all I'm saying.
Left, swipe left.
Yeah, no, it
But
didn't
no,
work
seriously, back to the family of it all, because I feel like we're about to drag this out when I don't want to drag it out.
No,
but back to the family of it all. There are so many images and versions of a person just because of everyone else around them that you have to work. And here we go back to working on yourself daily. Work on yourself daily. Because I feel like I mentioned this in like the last episode possibly. And I don't want y'all to like get tired of hearing me say what I say, but that's just the truth. You have to work on yourself daily for yourself, the image of yourself. Because at the end of the day, it is so easy to get lost and consumed in the image of someone else of you.
right.
It's just easy to fall into the image of someone else of you.
Especially if it's coming from family, especially if it's continuous for many years, always a thing. Because I feel like all of my larger, I mean, I can't say all, but for those that are plus size, that come from a family of non-plus size people, or sometimes even plus size people, you know, but family who is not comfortable with who they are or where they're at, they know what I'm talking about, of this being a constant cycle of, okay, so your size is always open for debate and open for conversation. And
I don't
open
even think
for
it
these.
necessarily has to do with plus size. Like it just
Well,
at least for
I'm just
my
saying,
family. I was like, hold
right.
on, let me
not
not speak for everybody, right?
I'm
We're
only
just
speaking my
separately.
own
But like
struggle.
and it was a stage in my life growing up where I remember mom, don't kill me, but my mom, she y'all know I don't be like I'm gonna shout you out, mom. But my mom actually stopped buying certain things in the house because I would eat them all the time. Like snacks, certain cereals. I mean, talking about took all my sugar away. And she was like, nah, sis, we are doing this. And I had a whole fit about it. She was doing what she felt was right because at the time the doctor told me that, yo, you're going to be a diabetic before you're 18. I was a pre-diabetic. I was already in that, like, you know, limbo. And so now being grown, I understand her intentions behind doing that. But at that time, it was like, how dare you tell me what to eat? Who do you think you are? Like, you can't tell me what to eat. like what's wrong with you? But it was at that stage, my eating habits were always up for discussion. Alexis, you shouldn't be eating that. Alexis, don't eat this. Alexis, don't eat that. And I just ate it more. I was like, I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna scarf it down
Right.
because you're telling me not to. Leave me alone.
Right.
You know, but and I don't think that people realize how like traumatizing that is to a degree. It's just like, stop counting my calories, stop counting my sugar intake, stop counting my sodium intake. Like, let me live my life. Let me live my life.
You want to know what's funny is I don't necessarily, I don't think that it's wrong of a parent to try to teach their children how to eat healthy. That's not what I'm saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No, right. So what I'm saying, so I just want to make it clear, because sometimes when people hear that, what you just said, it's just like, so what, are we not supposed to monitor what our children eat? No, that's not.
Didn't I just tell you I understand now that, you know, that she had good intentions?
Right. But I'm just throwing it out there because I could just see
the
pitchforks of like the
oh my God, Alexis said.
Yes. It's just like, oh my God, we should just allow them to eat whatever they want. Cocoa Puffs every day.
Coca-Cola for breakfast?
No, that's not what I'm saying. It's just
I can see it. Oh my God.
Right, exactly. That's why I'm like clarifying this. That's not what we're talking about. It's just the fact of your relationship with food starts in the home. And it starts with being taught how to balance and have a healthy relationship with food. Not so much obsessing over the calorie count of everything, but not just understanding the nutritional factors, the healthy factors,
Right.
and obviously into that comes in the caloric count and everything like that.
Right.
Working out all of that. But especially when you're speaking of Latin households, right? Where rice, beans, chicken, and
Every day.
and that's
rice
just,
and beans every day for sure. The
Right.
extra is like we don't know what we have today. Pork chops.
right. So
Bacalao.
exactly. So when you're talking about those things and we eat, no offense, poorly many
Very
of the times,
poorly.
it's just kind of like, what are you saying? Like, what do you, like, to me, it was always like backwards. And again, it didn't.
Is that going to like the do as I say, not as I do as I say, not as I do type of
Right.
Type of
And
energy?
it's not, and again, in my household, it wasn't that extreme poor. We do understand like genetics play a big part of it, right?
Right.
So, and I'm gonna tread lightly with genetics not being in my favor, right? It's just growing up eating and then eating what I ate and then also not developing that healthy relationship with food wasn't helpful. So it's just kind of like there should have been a 360 all around. Like there should have been a completely whirlwind of everything. Like if you wanted me to be, I don't even know if I want to
Actually,
say that.
in my mom's defense, though, going to where you're going,
Mhm.
my mom definitely changed her eating habits.
No,
Like,
no, it's not.
No, I'm not saying you're talking about my mom, but I was gonna bring
Right.
it up anyway, just in defense of my mother, because I
Mhm.
don't want people thinking like, oh, you always bashing your mom. Nah, it's really not that. Me and my mom have a complicated relationship, but she changed her way of eating a lot after like that whole like fiasco of
Right.
things. Like she definitely cut down on junk. She actually like started eating God, this is gonna be non-vegan people don't come at me for saying this, like, but cleaner. I don't want to use improper terminology because everybody has a whatever about that. Like I said that to somebody once, they were like, just because you're eating vegan doesn't mean it's cleaner. All right, shut up, whatever. That's your own opinion, whatever. But point is,
it's
like,
true because fries are also vegan.
Right. So,
I'm just saying.
but I'm just saying,
But just
like
clean eating,
eating or healthier eating, less processed and meats or whatever. So she did definitely like switch out also. Right. And she cut back on a lot of her whatever at the time that she was telling me to do it. So it's like, all right, she wasn't saying do as I say and not as I do. She was like, all right, if you got to do it, then we got to do it type of thing.
And no. I've always had that same energy in my household. Like that's not what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is genetically, some people are just have a different genetic makeup. Like even at my thinnest, I am not thin. I am just bigger boned. I just take up more space. That's just what it is. Like, and you can see it. You can see it even when I drop down. Like even in those pictures, just most recently of my 50 pounds, I'm not the any skinny mini type of person. And it's just, we have to understand that like the vision of what you envision to be perfection might not be anything that I can actually achieve for who I am as far as my makeup.
Your physical, yeah.
Right. My physical
anatomy.
makeup.
That's
exactly.
I was like, God, what is the word? Anatomy.
We should know that because of Grey's. But
right.
I'm just saying, but that's my main thing. Like we have to understand those. Obviously, you can't be preaching to a choir, but doing things hidden. Like I never had that problem in my household. Like good or bad. Like if I ever went on a diet, like mostly everyone was already on a diet of some sort. But that and again, projections, ladies and gentlemen. Like I don't want to. I can't. I have to. I'm sorry that I'm tiptoeing around this topic because I definitely do have clear pinpoints that I can actually give. But
that's why I said I was treading lightly earlier. Right. I was like, shh.
I was like, but I cannot because I just don't feel comfortable exposing those individuals. And that's just my truth. But what I will say, what I can speak is about myself. And it would have been nice in certain situations, especially those pivotal ages of growing into who I am as a person, as Dora. I would have liked a lot less commentary of my body image because I was already struggling with it, just me being who I am and seeing everything on the outside because I knew that I would never look like them.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay. But
if
then
you're
it was,
struggling,
yeah.
it's hard. It's really hard. Like if you're already mentally struggling with all of that, and then having someone else's like pressure of like what they want you to be and to look like, it's so hard. It's so hard and it sucks. And it's just like you're not alone, people. We're here with you. We're struggling with you. We struggled, and it's okay. It's okay if you're
Mhm.
feeling like overwhelmed by everyone else's vision of you or image of you,
Right.
right? Especially your families. So you're not
And
alone.
one last thing that I just want to add to that is because it usually translates to "you're so pretty," but
But
and that's what I want parents
that
to
but
understand.
is not necessary.
That but carries such a big, heavy weight to it that you have no idea, especially if your child is already struggling. And 10 times out of 10, that child will not tell you that they're struggling with what they're struggling, especially as far as the body image, because it's a constant comparison, especially if there's siblings into the mix and their siblings do not look like what they look like. I'm just throwing it out there. That's all I got to say for today.
Alrighty then. We're just gonna end it there.
Yes, we are.
You feel better?
I don't know if I feel better. I feel like it's a difficult one. I feel like enough was said to get the idea. I can't. I'm just not mentally prepared to deal with that backlash. So that's my piece.
Yeah, got it. Well, guys, another episode of So You Were Saying is complete.
Please do not forget to follow us. We're everywhere, guys. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Facebook, YouTube, where you want to see us, Instagram, So That You Were Saying, come check us out. Like, comment, subscribe, everywhere.
And honestly, a big, huge thank you to anyone who has just stuck it out with us, who is still here listening into season 2. We really appreciate it. If you have shared and liked our content, we love you. Your support means everything, because really we don't just have these conversations for ourselves, because if we did, we wouldn't be recording them. We'd just be having them. Duh. Because that's just who we are. So the point of our podcast really is to share it with the world and have other people know, like, we're just your average people going through the same things that you're going through. So we really just appreciate all the support that you give. That's all I gotta say. So I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.